I love the concept of the Zenith. A weapon forged from all the previous weapons that you've used throughout your playthrough is awesome. Tack on that it's the most powerful weapon in the game, and you've got a weapon that is an amazing final goal for any player to reach. That being said, I think the Zenith is a terrible execution of this concept. So today I want to go through and explain why I don't like the Zenith, and some ways that I think it could be improved upon. Terraria's swords have always been a little off. A lot of swords barely feel like swords and more like bows that just happen to be sword shaped. Luckily, 1.4.4 changed some swords to be more melee-like, and while I think that's great, it really shows off just how boring the Zenith is. Heck, I don't even think this thing qualifies as a sword, as unlike other projectile-based swords, it doesn't even swing or have like a swing radius around the player. Additionally, you have to gather nearly 20 different swords to craft the Zenith, all with their special effects, so you'd expect the Zenith would carry some of these same properties, right? But nope, all that these swords serve to do is fly out, deal damage, and come back. None of these cool special effects or neat projectiles are even incorporated in the Zenith. So how do I think we could fix this issue? Well, for starters, the Zenith definitely needs to be able to deal up close damage like any other sword, and we need to lessen the damage that Zenith projectiles do. This would encourage players to get up close with the Zenith and would make it feel more melee-like. Additionally, I think we need each individual sword to be different. Imagine something like the Meow Mirror, but instead of launching cat heads, the Zenith would launch its swords, which would all have their own unique effects. One of the main criticisms I see of the Zenith is that it's unfair that the melee class gets a cool weapon while the other classes don't. And yeah, that is completely unfair and can make the Moonlord drops feel unrewarding when you're playing as a class that isn't using melee weapons. Admittedly, this applies less so to the Summoner class as they get the Terra Prisma, which is, you know, from the Empress of Light, but the point still stands. Another example of overshadowing on part of the Zenith is that the Zenith overshadows the Meow Mirror and the Star Fury. This is mostly because, well, by the time you get them, you most likely already have the other Zenith swords. Thus, you'll craft the Zenith immediately and not even have time to really try these weapons out. I do think there's a very simple solution to both of these issues, however. Give each class a Zenith type weapon, but lock it behind a post Moonlord event. Like, I don't know, Cthulhu is the ruler of the sea, and now that he's dead, you have to fight off a bunch of angry sharks or something. I think an event or invasion would work specifically well, as all of the Moonlord weapons, which presumably you'd be using against him, are great for crowd control. Last, but definitely not least, absolutely the most egregious thing about the Zenith is, why does it cost so much to reforge? Like, oh my god, I had like 50 platinum in my piggy bank. That's all I have to say for today. Admittedly, I did kind of go off the rails there a bit with that whole shark invasion thing, but I stand by what I said. If you have anything to say for or against the Zenith, feel free to comment that. Well, alright. Bye everyone.